Hello! Hello everybody, I am back. Smork, nice to see you. How are you? Thanks everyone for coming back and checking me out. I've got more hackmud today, obviously. I thought I was going to do something different today, because I've been fighting with hackmud this week, but I just can't walk away from it. I have been doing more work on my botnet because it was not working correctly, the way that we left it off on Saturday, I guess it was, and I got sick of my account NT solve not totally working. I actually found some issues with my automation as well, out of process automation. So it's kind of just like been tightening things up a bit. The out of process automation, I was really letting it rip over the last few days, and it exposed some other issues that I had. Issues with my scraping. The transaction history on those automation users was getting really full as well. And that was leading to account NT issues, so I ended up scrapping my account NT code and just starting over entirely, because I kept finding myself adding things here and there, and realized that my spaghetti code that is my account NT was becoming really unmaintainable, and there were parts of it that I wasn't exactly sure if they were doing what I wanted them to do in the first place. So I figured, since I had a good idea of what account NT does now, and I feel just more comfortable in JavaScript, I figured I'd just like start over again. So I did, and I ended up with something better, I guess. So this is the standalone. I made a standalone account NT script while I was doing my testing. So the old solve was like a big method that I had called GTX. There was another method called GTX2 that did a bunch of crunching within it. I had a couple other supporting methods. All those functions are all gone now, and I only have this one GTX. And it's not really nearly as long as it was, though it is denser. Like there's more going on these lines. Part of that is because I followed George Starr's advice, and I have been using better names for my variables. So what I have ended up with is something that works most of the time. It still doesn't work all of the time, and I'll explain why in a second. So about, I say, 95+% of the time this works. It does take advantage now of retries, so some of the things that I calculate for account NT I now put into my continuation token. Oh, this isn't the actual. Let's not look at the standalone one. Let's look at the real solve. So I have account NTs. These are the possible answers that I generate when I encounter an account NT, and I store them, and I pop out of them as I do my attempts, which I realize that I should probably also do with my Magnara array as well. So I should be popping out of it, and this way the token is getting smaller over time, instead of having to maintain the Magnara and the index that I'm working on. But that would take some refactoring Magnara, which is actually working very well right now, so I don't want to touch that at this moment. So the account NTs, and I have this thing called possible ranges, which I use to hold statistics. So I'm not saving this data anywhere yet, though I have been thinking about doing that. This is where I store some data about the account NT, which I suppose we can see by using it here. So I'm going to go, we're going to use beta-loxim for a second, just so that we can see the account NT. Oh, actually, I did make another change, because the other change I made was to support a test parameter. So if I do test, it'll pass in an object, which it will then pass to beta-loxim and override the target. So I should be able to do Now this again was something I just changed just before stream and haven't tested yet, so expect this to break. But let's check anyway. So if I do test, I should just be able to do the same thing here. Locks and then an array, account NT. Yeah, of course. So I think whatever. I know what the issue is, so I'm just going to do this. Oh, that's funny. So, yeah, so you'll see something else here that I've added recently. I think I figured out how to protect myself from fake NPC scripts. So my scraper has some detection in it, but I realized that if someone really is intentionally making a malicious script, public script, to look like an NPC, like abandoned underscore junior turtle underscore something, there's not much that you can do based off the structure of the username. So I have a final protection here, but I realized that I should probably, so the protection we can see in a second here. The protection is here, access level hidden. So so you can't make a public hidden script, I don't think. Or can you? Maybe you can, and that's not good enough. Up, and then where's the shift? Where's the shift stuff? There's shift, there's public, and private. Right, but there's no hidden. Yes, so I believe that means that you can't create a hidden script. So if it's hidden, that means it's a real location. If it's not hidden, that means that somebody else has tried to make you think that it's hidden. But I realize I need an exclusion in here for beta because for specifically beta locksim, because I want to be able to test with that. In fact, I did something else in here that was supposed to bypass this. Oh, I think it's this. If a.test, if not test, I think that will do it. So I should be able to do it from this user as well. So I should be able to just do test locks account NT. Damn it. Where is the if not a.test? Where am I doing t.name? Where else am I doing t.name? The token? I wonder if I can just set t.name in here instead. Can I do that? If not a.test, and then if a.test, I should be able to do a.t.name maybe equals beta locksim. Maybe I can do that. Smark, those user locations that you told me about that you thought were fake are hidden. So, do you have an example, Smork, of what one of those were that you could put in chat? I'm trying to get this. So why did you... Yeah, so what was it about those that made you think that they were fake? This isn't working. Okay. I think I'm just... I don't think the way that I'm trying to get it to work is working. So I'm just going to go back to... Up Unicrack. There we go. Okay. They didn't self-destruct, and they had no upgrades or GC. So I have seen that happen a couple times, and I think it's a bug. I think it's like if it times out, there's like some sensitivity there, because I don't remember where I heard it. It might have been the official Discord. Someone said that there's a way that you can breach an NPC, and if you don't do something properly, then the NPC doesn't self-destruct after you breach them. Another thing that you could try though is if they're still around, use one of the PvP scripts on them. Like look at their access logs or look at their transaction history. I think if they're a real person, you'll see probably a ton of other user locations in their access logs. But it's possible that just they are bugged and other players are hitting them and having the same problem as you, and they're just not self-destructing. Otherwise, like, are these ones still around? Like, I'm gonna take this one, this anonymous one. So if I check this, it's full sec. It's public hidden. And if we do user.last action on it, users.last action. Oh, and just the username. It last did something on the 18th, so that could be when it was created, perhaps. I suppose if it was a fake, the person would probably be smart enough to not have it in any channels. Yeah, that's hard to say, Smark, but I have to say I don't think I've had that happen since I started using my own cracking script. But I remember, like, back when I was first starting, I did that accidentally to a couple NPCs, and I asked someone about it. Maybe it was over Twitch or something, but you could probably just ask on the official Discord. Like, do these NPCs, how does an NPC get orphaned like this without self-destructing? Because maybe there's something that you're doing in your cracking script that's causing that to happen more often. I'm not sure. But I mean, like, I thought this was a pretty good check, because you can't, as a player, make a hidden script, a hidden public script. You can't do it. There's no way to do it. So this couldn't be a player knowing that, because you can't, like, I can't up something like up test hidden. Like, it doesn't do anything. Up test shift hidden. It's a location, not a script. Yeah, so it's I think it's bugged, maybe. Or maybe it is a player location and it has nothing on it. So it has no locks, so you breach it right away. And it doesn't self-destruct because it's got nothing, right? Like, my automation users don't carry anything on them when they're idling. So if you breached one, it would just breach immediately, but you wouldn't be able to do anything with it because it just have a big transaction history and that's it. So it's possible that that is someone's user, I guess, that they're using to do something. But it can't do anything to you because it's their location, right? Just breaching a location doesn't do anything to you. It's just the locks that can do something. So I think you're safe there anyway. I think it just sucks because your automation would be wasting that on a hardline. I don't know if there's any way to prevent that from happening. You leave your location in access logs when you breach something, yeah. So the bad news would be that someone is doing that to collect access logs. But again, since I only breach from I breach from either my main user when I'm, like, poking around manually, or from one of my automation users, and my automation users are all empty all the time. So even if I leave my location for an automation user, and I leave that location somewhere in like that, like a, I don't know, like a honeypot trap or something, it doesn't matter, because they can't use it for anything. Because they'll go and they'll breach my automation user, and I'll go, okay, great, now I've got your location, and you probably didn't have anything in your user either, so now we both just have the locations for 2 empty users. So it probably doesn't do much. But yeah, I have seen that before, because I remember breaching an NPC a while ago by accident. Like, it didn't look like a normal NPC, and I went and looked at its access logs, and it had my location in there, and it had a whole bunch of other players' locations, just a huge pile of them. So I think someone had done that, like left it as a trap to catch other people's locations. I imagine most people are doing their breaching from their main account though, and they're not doing it from empty accounts like we are with our users, so it's gonna work. It's like an easy win, right? You just use one of your user slots, name it something like that, and just collect locations. They could no, because your bot, they couldn't even do a bot brain on it, because when you get breached, your bot brain resets. So I don't even know what the point of that would be. I guess they have another user, or I guess they have a public script that gets the access logs or something like that, or maybe they do it manually. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna delete that because I don't need that. So, oh, what were we talking about? Right, I wanted to show what I am doing with my account NT data. There. So I'm generating a bunch more data on my account NT solves now, and I've been thinking that this is pretty nuts, right? Because the range it gives you for the dates, it gave me, like, it asked for 2 dates, and the location of those 2 dates in my array were at positions 3 and 17. But the answer that it accepted was calculating using a top of 15 and a bottom of 29. Like, that's way off. From 3 to 15 and from 17 to 29. Way off. Way off from what it wanted. So I'm thinking of, like, this was really close to the maximum slosh value that I have as well here. Right now I have a limit of 25. But it's like sometimes with a higher limit, I am generating like a ridiculous number of possibilities, and I can't get through all of them. I especially find this when I hit, I don't know what the WBs are, but when I hit WB NPCs, they tend to have contells followed by an account NT, and it slows me down. It slows me down a lot. So I just like keep cycling on it, and I will eventually breach them, but it can take like 8 or 9 runs at it before I get them. So some of them are pretty rough. I'm not even sure if the WBs or the DDs are worth going after for my automation. I'm almost considering avoiding the WBs. I don't know what it stands for, but they seem to be like they have really strong lock stacks, those WBs. It can take me like 30, 40, sometimes more seconds to breach just that one user. They usually have a lot of upgrades, but then I just delete them anyway. So I don't know if it's worth it. Anyway, so what I might do is I might persist this data here into the database, and what that would let me do is actually crunch some numbers over time, like I'm doing with my key stats, and get some data. We should look at my key stats too. So this is what my key stats look like now. So you can see the distribution here. This is like the distribution of my, like, this is my personal encounter rate across my automation. so it's not necessarily accurate. But yeah, you can see like these ones are obviously the most common tier 1s, and these ones are the most common tier 2s, I believe. But I'm missing a bunch. I keep running into... There seems to be some keys in common that I keep running to in automation that keeps killing my hard lines. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head now. Oh, another thing I should do. I have a script that checks the market for any of the keys that I don't have. Nope. So that's what my key inventory looks like now with the stats, and those stats are being constantly generated as I run my culling script as part of my automation. I have my bank bots, and these are just chugging along just fine. I did find an issue with my bank bots, and that was at first we built it so that the bot had a withdraw command on it. So we made the bot brain public and we put a withdraw command on it. Well, I found that because my automation does withdraws frequently, right? Because anytime you run into an account NT, you do a withdraw. I found that that could occasionally interfere with the bot brain's next runtime. And so I was letting my automation kind of just run, and the bot brain would eventually stop, and that bank bot node would go offline. So and then I also realized if someone else could DDoS my bot brain if they just constantly call it. I mean, there's a whitelist check here, right? So I will take all their money, but if they have no money, it just does nothing. But if they run it all the time, it could eventually interfere with the bot brain and take it offline. So I made a separate script on that user that's public called withdraw that just does the withdrawal. And I made the bot brain private again. And after I did those two things, I haven't seen either of my bots go offline. They've just been up the whole time. So that's been good. Yeah, you can see I prettied up the output here a bit. I have the last check-in time and the next expected. I also put the current UTC time so that you can kind of tell, like, at a glance. Unless I just minimized that by mistake. And then, yeah, we have the cooldown converted to minutes and seconds. And then the total seconds, that's the number that comes from the bot brain upgrade. And I'm trying to think, what else did I do? I converted my utils script to a proper library. So, which was actually pretty easy to do. You just return, if you call it with no args, you just have it return the functions themselves. And then those functions become accessible on the utility. So now, for example, in here, now my whitelist check, where is it? Where is my whitelist? There. It's now like I do utils is xylib.utils, and then I just do utils.whitelisted. So that saves some characters as well. Yes, there was a lot done there. I'm trying to think, there's a few things that I want to do here next. I mean, I need more keys, but as we saw, there aren't any on the market. I need more data check answers because I am occasionally running into V3 data check answers, and they're blocking my automation attempts. There's some more prettifying of scripts that I have to do. Well, don't have to, want to do. Oh, I did make some changes to my tier 1 scripts. So now when I do a scrape, so if I do, for example, if I do a full scrape of a tier 1 corporation, Hey, Jorstar, what's up? How's it going? So you can see here I now separate out non-NPC locations optionally. I don't know what to do with that information, but I am tracking them. I don't save them anywhere. You're working on a net script. A net script, initially without a database. You mean like a botnet script? Without a database? What is its purpose, Jorstar? For why are you creating a net? Is this for inventory management? GC and upgrades. Yeah, that's another thing that I could do as well. I got to expand my banks to extend keys. Let's see. How many keys do I have right now? Oh man, my eye is so itchy. I'm at 39 of 64. So I'm pretty far off right now, honestly. I think I'm okay for now on that. You're going to use a script on every single bot that you can call from the depot script. Yeah, I think that's what I was planning on doing as well. So your central user could just call each of your bots asking for the key that you're looking for until it gets the key, and then it can just stop. The only problem is, I think doing it in reverse, right? How do you evenly distribute them? You just use the of owner stuff and X for to caller. Yeah, and that's pretty much what I'm doing with my bank, my bank net as well. My bank net just does, let's see, what does the bank look like again? When I do a withdraw. Oh no, I do a distributed withdrawal. So the central user calculates the balance and then calls each bot with that distributed balance. The distribution is going to be through BotBrains. I'm not sure how you can do the distribution through BotBrains because the BotBrains only run on a timer, right? So unless you mean like you're going to just always pull from a single bot and then let the other bots balance themselves out. But the problem with that means is that your whole balance is not accessible, right? Only up to the limit. Like my balance on my bank is 3.7 billion. Your depot script will handle the transfers. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm doing too. It breaks it up and then just makes a request to each bot that says, hey, you send your part, you send your part, you send your part, and then the user receives, 3 pieces that total up what they asked for. That's what mine does. All right, so that's all just talking about what I've been doing. Let's see, what are we going to do next? So I think I want to capture some data because I like capturing data. I like data and I like running statistics on data. So I think what I might do is take that account NT data that I'm gathering and persist it to the database. I gotta find it. There's a lot of code here that I wish I could collapse a bit. Collapse all these because I don't need to see them. Those are all fine. Jorstar, you'll probably just round robin stuff. Yeah, I mean, if you do the total divided by the number of parts and then round robin through your bots, that's essentially what I'm doing, though, because I have that list of withdraw commands here. So I just loop through this list. So if I want to add another node, I give them the copy of the bot brain, and then I also add a copy of this function here for them. Like, give them the bot brain and the withdraw script, add this here, load them up with locks, done. It should just, the next time it checks in, it should just add itself into the botnet without having to do too much. You're going to start a Linux out of process so you can run multiple death machines if you want. Yeah, mine's got a C# and UI and everything. I think the problem is I've found that my out of process stuff, I don't know, Jorstar, if you've done your out of process or how far along you are, but I found that mine is not perfect. Like, I can't run it totally hands off because it does occasionally have problems with, like, flush coming in at a weird time, or, you know, an unexpected result coming back from a script, or something taking too long or something like that. Your bot script doesn't do any logic besides checking the whitelist. I don't know if mine does logic or not. Not really. It calculates its own tier, I guess. That's calculates its own tier, gets the cron bot for the cooldown, and then checks in. And it has logic here that if I call this script manually, it'll unload and reload the cron. So anytime I go onto my nodes to do things, I just run the bot brain script manually and then log out of that user. The flush issue is the game doing its own flush like every minute. Yeah. The workaround that you told me 100% works. I think Smork, I have the same workaround now. I think I just remove the word flush. I was doing originally a lot of my out of process automation stuff was running on like response line indexes, and now I've been using like link now to be like response lines any. So I'm now looking for the line specifically that I want to find, and if I don't find it, then I reflush here. So if my flush timer ends and I don't have the result that I want, I hit flush again to see if I get my result and then go back into the loop. That's been pretty good. It's still not 100%. I think it's just because there's some, especially these, I think part of it is because what I've noticed is when I breach one of those WB NPCs, they seem to have a lot of upgrades as loot, like 20 upgrades will come out of one of these NPCs, along with many lines of my solve, because I'm spitting out so many stats for my cracking script. So between those two, actually I think I can show an example of here, because I had where was it? This is today's log. So you can see the log that I keep. Like some of these, it spits out so much output. Like, look at this output. And the problem is that I breached the NPC technically, but the system flush came out halfway through it. Oh, you can't see it. It's Notepad++. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just a bunch of text. The point, though, was that, like, so much output, like, over a screen's worth of output can come out from some of the NPC breaches that the system flush will come out halfway through. So I will get my, like, lock unlocked text that I'm looking for, and then I'll immediately break my flush loop, but the client is still scrolling. So in those cases, I notice that, like, my automation will kind of choke or stutter, and then I'll get some unexpected output. So like that doesn't happen very often, and again that seems to only happen on these WB NPCs, which I may just start avoiding during automation because I'm not exactly sure what the difference is there. So Jorstar, you return an object from your bot, which is the balance, the GC, which is a pointer to GC to caller X, the upgrades, your bot script. So you're calling your bot script, like from your other script you call your bot script to get that data, is that what that is? Uses that script per bot to do all the logic. Instead of doing a whitelist of what you want to keep, you might look into doing a blacklist of what to call. If you find anything you might want to keep, then you don't accidentally call it. So with making your bot script public Jorstar and calling it repeatedly, I have found that if your bot script was going to tick, but it's being called at the same time, it won't tick. Because it can't run twice. The script can't run twice at the same time. And then your bot won't do the check-in. Oh, you meant network script, not bot brain? Ah, okay. Yeah, you should be okay then. Alright, so let's go look at some of these. Let's close some of these files for now. Close, 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 close. Alright, I've also started storing solves, Magnara solves in my database, so that I check my database first, just to see if the answer's there, and if it's not, I'll do my own solving logic, and then I'll save the answer. So I am slowly building up a list. How many do I have in here? Get DB record. DB record. The ID is Magnara dictionary, I think. And I want count. True. 3,088 words so far. It's not a lot. There's like 300,000 words or something that start with 4 letters or 5 letters or something stupid like that. So I'm nowhere close, but it's running. I might as well, right? Because that data is going to waste if I don't save it, which is how I feel about my stats on the account NT solve. So let's go and figure out how to persist these to the database. So I have possible ranges. So I have a possible ranges that object that contains the data for the solution. And where do I do something with that when I succeed, maybe? I'm saving it to my, I think I save it to my token. Yep. So I should just be able to, when it accepts the answer, I should be able to just persist it to the database. You can't even test your account NT at the moment, Jorstar. You haven't done transfers in so long. Ha! And that's the thing too, is I've noticed that the account NT gets harder to solve the more stale your transaction history is. On my automation users, where I have like dozens of transactions every minute, I find that they find the solutions to account NT also pretty quickly, which is good because they're the ones that are going to be cracking more often. But yeah, when I go and try to run it on like my library user, which hasn't breached an NPC in probably a week or more, it has a really hard time. It's not solvable if you do not have transfers or not enough transfers. Yes, I think that's the there's the account NT min value on the lock itself that I think is like the minimum number of recent transactions that are required, or maybe it's just total transactions. I'm not sure. Alright. So here, this is the success condition for account NT. So here we should be able to persist this to the database, this particular possible ranges object. So what do I want that database record to be called? And what do I want it to contain? So what did what did it look like? Let's do it again, just so I remember what it looks like. Yeah, you can see that test took 4 seconds. That test took 4 seconds. I don't know why, actually, because that one should have been rather slow. I think that might have just been the lock sim itself is a little slower than a real location. Anyway, so I have this object at the end. So it contains what the actual top and bottom indexes were for the answer, and the top and bottom slosh values, which is not the total distance of the index. Obviously, as you can see, the difference between the actual bottom of 6 and the initial one of 9 is not 6, it's 3. That's because the slosh value is alternating positive negative as I go. Just kind of like starts on target and then goes +1, -2, +3, -4, back and forth. So 6 is actually -3. So that slosh, I will do that. Right now the limit is 25, but I found that's not even sufficient all the time. But it just generates... Sometimes it's like, I wish I knew... Sometimes the slosh is like 2, and sometimes the slosh is like 27. And it's like, I wish that I knew when I needed to slosh 27, because otherwise I generate too many answers for the smaller locks. Like I generate like 200 answers, but the answer ended up being like the third answer. So it's like, why did I generate so many? But the generation isn't the problem, I guess, because it generates all those answers in like 5 milliseconds. So anyway, what data do I want to store here? I think I just want to store the top and bottom slosh values along with the... I kind of want to store the initial range and the actual range, because there might be a relationship there. Maybe I should just store everything. I should store the initial ranges, I should store the initial indexes, the actual indexes, the top and bottom slosh values, and the range, the initial range and the actual range. Why not? I have all of that data there. And then if I store all of that data, I can start doing, like, I can start crunching numbers on it. So I have to add a couple things in to that, to this object then. So, man, this object's getting really big. I think I'm gonna break this up. Okay, so I'm gonna put initial top is gonna be top I. Should do initial and actual, or should I do initial and actual? I guess it doesn't matter. Initial top and bottom. Actual top, actual bottom. Top slosh, bottom slosh, and then initial range and actual range. I suppose I can calculate those because they're calculated here, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to do them here. So they're in the object as I persist it. Okay. And then I'm going to take this object, and it's the exact same object here, except the array is initially populated with it. It's the only difference. So what that means is I should just be doing stats equal this, and then just doing stats either push stats or initial population of stats. There we go. So this actually generates an array of the stats for each answer that gets generated, and then when it finds the answer, it just spits out the whichever one of these objects is paired with the answer. Okay, and then what I should do is I should take this object that got paired and I should append it to an array of objects in my database. And I suppose I can call it account NT stats. Okay. So we're going to save it right here because this is where we know that it's correct. We are going to do db.upsert. No, we have to find and append. So we have to do db.find where the ID is what did I say I wanted it to be? Account NT stats, or should I do account NT stats? Stats. We'll do it like this. Okay, so find dot first. Let stats, let db stats equal this. If db stats is not equal to null, so I have db stats. I think I can do if db stats is not equal to null, db stats is going to be equal to db stats dot v, so that will give me the value. Same object. I do like the mutability of variables in JavaScript for that reason. So otherwise, db stats is going to equal a new array, and we're going to do db stats dot push, and we're going to push possible ranges at x to it, and then we're going to upsert it. Give it a value v, and v is going to be db stats. Okay, so that should start accumulating the statistics in my database, and then I can number crunch on it after I have a bunch saved up, and then find out if there's a relationship between any of these numbers, like the initial indexes and their sloshes, or the initial range and the actual range, if there ends up being a relationship there. Anything that I can use to make my account NT more intelligent. Because sometimes it takes really long, especially on like an actual NPC. Okay. We'll run it here just to make sure that I get it persisted. Okay, so now I have initial and initial, which were correct. I have an actual and an actual. The top and bottom slosh values, the initial range of 12, and the actual range of 9, which are all correct and look accurate. I should then be able to do my get db record call, ID of account nt stats, and it should spit out the content of that account nt stats not found. Did it not save it? It should have. What did I do wrong there? Oh, it's supposed to be underscore ID. Shit. Well, what did I just do there? Hey! No! That's a stupid typo, because I think I just fucking put something into my database that I don't know how to get out or where it is. Alright, well, it's supposed to be this anyway, I guess. Whoops. Who knows what that did to my database, but we'll never know. Ah, up Unicrack. Let's run a couple of these. Okay, and then let's go look at the database record now. There we go. It doesn't look pretty, but it does appear to be. It does appear to have an array V with the 2 stats in it. So I could run another script or add another tool that that crunches those numbers. Okay. Alright, so that's that. We'll just leave that as is for now. I don't like data going to waste. Let's go check for keys because I'm obsessed about finding new keys. Nothing. What else did I want to do? There's something else I wanted to do. Well, let's go look at our plan, I guess. Where's our plan? So, update key util to store copies of rare keys. I should have my bank user botbrains do the key check and buy them. It's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea, Smark. Buy the key and then send it to my library user so that it gets added to the stats. You know what, Smark? That's a good idea. I think we'll go do that. Okay, so I have to make this key utility public. Itchy nose. So it's right here. This could easily be added into my utilities though. So let's copy this. I'm not using the database anymore, I'm using my util script. Alright, so we're going to go and we're going to add this to the util script because that's already public. I have key stats, which just returns the statistics. But I want, I guess, a key check utility. So if a.tool, actually let's make the method first. So we'll put it here, key check. We'll just paste this. So what was this doing? This was doing getting the key list, which I don't need to do anymore because that's a method in here. So I can do key list equals key list. Then I browse where the name is. Actually, what I want to do is probably market.browse. Oh, that's something else I want to do. Hold on. I just thought of something I want to put on my plan. Maybe actually a little higher up here. Hold on. Focus. I want to do... Oh, I actually think did I do a new thing for that? I think I did, right?
Baby, can you focus?
Yeah. Kept finding myself going way off target. Alright. So... oh shit, now I forgot.
Brandon's got those guns, Crave.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's got electrolytes.
Thanks, Joe
What
Star.
are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they use to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why do they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
Because Brondo's got electrolytes. Thank you. Alright. Unfortunately, by showing off that new redemption that I had for making myself focus, I've lost my focus. Ironically. Oh, right. Anonymous or single user point of entry for market transactions, so that I don't want to have like my bot users and stuff making purchases, because, or I just want like one harmless bot user that makes the purchases on my behalf, so that all market transactions are done through a single user, so that it's like less information leakage, I guess. That's like information security stuff. There was also something else I wanted, and that was, this is probably later on down here, but it was GC transfers, GC and upgrade transfers through market proxy. So I'm not sure if this will work. My idea was I could have like a user who is totally isolated from my other users, never interacts with them directly, and if I want to send them GC or upgrades or vice versa, that I would launder them through the market by either selling an upgrade, like putting an upgrade on the market at like 1 GC and then immediately buying it with the other user, like immediately, or putting like a piece of garbage, like a, I don't know, like a channel count V1 with one channel on it for like 5 billion GC, and then having another user going and buying it to transfer money, and that way like the users never actually interact directly with each other. I don't know how necessary that is, but it was something that I wanted to think about doing. Okay, so I think we've done some things here on this list too. So I'm gonna update this and this. I have learned about bot brains. I've done part of that. Okay. Just so I know, Zez knows all active accounts. Yeah, and I'm not worried about protecting myself from the people at the top of the food chain, right? Because there's nothing I can do. Smork, it seems overly paranoid. Oh, I'm not doing it like out of paranoia. Like, I'm not worried for myself. I'm just wondering if I can do it, just to see if I could do it. Because I thought it'd be cool to have like an air-gapped user. So I could have a user that's called something like anonymous_junior turtle or something, right? And no one will have any way of tying it back to any of my users. He literally has a script that checks all users' last action. Yeah. To launder money. Yeah, I mean, it could be laundering money. It could be to like steal player locations, but then the player whose location I've stolen will have no idea who took it. They'll just be like, someone has it, and I have no idea who that person is, because I would log into that user, list the account history, and then like manually copy and paste it into Notepad or read it from my out of process automation or something like that, and just like keep it. There's no connection between it and my other users. I don't actually know if there's a reason to do it other than that I want to see if I can do it, I guess. So it's not like a high priority, and I'm not tricking myself into thinking that it's going to protect me from like Zez or the giants like that, right? All right, so back to the key check that we want to do on the bots. So we have the key list. Right, there was something I wanted to check with markets here. I want to check if I can do the regex regex, and then I'm supposed to be able to do like /key. Shit, what was the Mongo? I think it was like Mongo regex. Yeah, whatever. Regex pattern options. Regex /pattern /options. So maybe it's like this. I don't know if this will work. No. No slashes. No slashes inside the regex. Ah, awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Mork. Yeah, so I think what I wanted to do... Whoops, let's close this now. So do regex key, where the key is not in this. Puts all of their IDs into an array. Goes through and gets... See, this is where I'm going to have a problem, because these market calls can be really, really slow. Especially if I found, like, I don't know, heaven forbid something goes wrong. I lose one of my common keys. BotBrain makes this call and gets like 500 keys on the market. It'll buy one of them, I guess. I guess I always want to buy the first one. So does market.browse have a count on it? No. Market. I wish I could just get the top, like the first one. It doesn't do top. Oh, right, because these aren't, that's going to be doing parameters on the... I could also do type tool. You don't know the performance difference to using regex? Yeah, I guess keys are the only tool, right? Yeah, so I mean, they seem to be functionally identical. So we'll do type tool, where the key value is not in this. I think I just want to know... So the cost is irrelevant, because either I can afford it, in which case I want it, or I can't afford it, in which case it won't let me buy it. What is KKS? Key list is unused. It's supposed to be this. Is key list just returning? Oh, it's returning an object, so I need to actually do key list, and then map them. So I need to do key list. Actually, I guess I could do it here. Map x at 0. There, that'll give me just the key values. It's a typo is what it is. Actually, Jorstar, it's not a typo, because KKS was the variable it was called before. I just hadn't overwritten it yet. We're still mid-refactor. Still mid-refactor. I don't think that counts. Or it's just a normal typo and it's not a stupid typo. See, I'm mapping. I gotta map them all because this is a dictionary of keys. So I map them all to here. That's just dodging it. No. Fine. All right. Are you happy? Now I have 8 stupid typos. Another black mark on my permanent record. Okay. Okay. So I just want to buy the first one I think that I find. So I just want to know if there are any of these. If I do let... No, hold on. Because this is going to return, let's say there's 3 keys on the market that I don't have. I want to get all 3 of them. So I want to select the first of each of the keys. So let X of market browse. I is IDs. So this will give me the full data on all of the keys that I just found. But I don't want that. I just want the Joestar, here you're thinking for your tier 2 out of process how fast you want to run it. So I mean, I run mine basically as fast as I can get it to run. And it's the cracking of some of the tier 2 NPCs that takes a really, really long time for me. Some of them you'll run into like a WB turtle. The faster, the more users you need. So my out of process automation currently loops through 2 tier 1 users and 3 tier 2 users. So 5 users in total. Takes hours. So I guess if you want to have enough users that you can run without ever running out of hardlines, you'd have to probably do the math on that. But I don't know what the point of that would be. That's the idea. You want to have enough users that you never run out of hardlines. In tier 2, yeah, you'll have to crunch the numbers on that one, Joestar. I'm not sure. How many hardlines? I think you get 1 hardline an hour, right? No, that's not right. That's tier 3, you get 1 hardline per hour. Yeah, I don't remember what the hardline count was. Someone had it on the post on the official Discord, the chart. I think it's in help desk. Okay, so I only want the first ID for each key that I find. You're gonna make it log to Discord? Oof. Right off the bat? or once you've got it smoothed out, because like I don't want mine logging to Discord, not right now. Mine spits out way too much information. So I guess I want the IDs to be an object, which is x.key and x.I. And then I want to do protection here that if IDs hold on, what do I want to do here? I want to do IDs at, I'm going to make this an object instead of an array. IDs at x.key is equal to x.I. We'll do that instead. And then I can do if object, or I can do if IDs at x.key is equal to null. Then I'll add it, and I'll only add one of them. So I'll only get the first index for any given key, which means it'll be the cheapest one for each key. I don't need to do this market call anymore to get the full data. I can just buy it, or I can just attempt to buy it anyway. So you only really do amount of GC and noteworthy upgrades. Yeah, maybe. I found that I don't, most of the upgrades, like probably 90+% of the upgrades I get even in tier 2 are still garbage. But every once in a while I'll find like a blue lockbox or something, so. Alright, so I guess this should be like, key check. Yeah, this doesn't give me the cost, does it? Should I just blindly buy it? I don't think I should blindly buy it. I think I should have a limit, because otherwise someone can go up and take advantage of my bot brain to bankrupt me. Right? So I don't think I should blindly buy it. I think I still have to do market browse to get the cost. So for each how do I do it like this? Cost is included in the first call? Is it? Oh yeah, it is, right? Oh, I actually don't know what it looks like from a script though. So maybe I should just do like return X here, just to see what it looks like. And then I'll have tool key check will return key check. Dollar should also be pound. Nope. I'm using HSE, so they're all converted to dollar signs now. Up utils. Oh, wrong user. How does which work, Smork? The HSE or the dollar sign? The dollar sign is just a character replacement because HSE has TypeScript support. There is no advantage of using dollar. Dollar is what HSE wants you to use instead. It reverts it back to the hash sign when it reminifies it. That's all. You can't use $sign unless you're using HSE. And yeah, I guess like if you're using HSE but you're not using $signs, what Jorstar said is correct. You won't get errors. The error goes away for having a, because I think in TypeScript that's a directive. Like you would actually use hash to put TypeScript directives. I don't know anything about TypeScript though. Let's up utils, and then we're going to do xylib utils, and the tool name is going to be key check. Results is not defined. I mean, that shouldn't really matter because I'm not like using these. I just want to return X. Oh. Wait, what? What's going on here? Keylist map is not a function. Keylist is supposed to return keys, which is an object. Can I not map this dictionary? Can you not map a dictionary? Do I want to do object.keys, I guess? Okay. Now that makes sense because I'm doing a not in key list. I should be able to just like delete this part for a sec, just for testing. The same with function context args versus export default function context args. Oh yeah, that's an HSE thing. And yes, Mark, you're right. The cost is in there. So what I would do is I would do x.I and x.cost. That's good. Want me to give me property names because you can't infer, I guess. All right. So this should give me all the unique. It should give me the lowest cost key. I'm imagining Smart is probably what your script is doing a little bit, right? Smart.keys is doing the same thing. So this should get me like I should be able to just return IDs here. Key is not defined. I have a comma instead of a dot. Oh, shit. No! All right. Undefined. Oh, the key isn't included in the market browse, though. So I still have to do a full call. Ah, that sucks. That's why your script takes multiple runs. Okay, so I start with all of the keys, right? start with all of the keys that I want. I don't know what they are because they're sorted by price, not by the key type. I suppose for my bot brain, I could probably just get away with just buying the first one. Send it to the library. That's it. The next time it runs, I might miss keys. If someone puts 2 keys I don't have on the market at the same time, I may grab the first one and then go to get the other one, and it's gone, right? So that's a risk, but it would shorten the runtime significantly, because I definitely don't want this. This can't take multiple runs, because my bot brain, if my bot brain times out, then that's it. It'll unload itself, right? Well, I guess not. It'll count as one of the retries, but that would be 40 minutes, right? The retry will be in 40 minutes, won't it? So the key will be gone by then. So I want to make sure if it's there that I buy it immediately. Just buy the first one. Yeah, so it's like if any of the keys I want are there, buy the first one, the cheapest one, no matter which key it is. You don't have it, buy it, send it to the library, done. The next node will do the same thing, but that key will now be owned. So if there is a second one, hopefully it makes it in there to buy it as well. So having multiple nodes running close together should get me up to N new keys on each run. Okay, we've got an ad coming up. Okay. So I think that's what I'll do here, is we'll just, just blindly buy the first one. Alright. Alright, we're going to take a quick break for ads. I'm going to stretch my legs. I'm going to get more water because my throat's kind of dry. And then I'll be back. Okay. See you soon. Alright. Alright. Back. Thank you everyone for your patience. Okay. Right, so want to just blindly buy the first one, assuming it's not like... I should probably set a price limit of some kind. Actually, I think the purchasing is going to get done not in this script. I'll do the purchasing from the bot brain. So, because that... I want to be able to run this tool to just check. Maybe key check should take a limit, I guess. So we get the first tool. And we just buy it. If the cost, so if x dot cost is less than or equal to limit, now I have to do something to limit. Limit, shit. If I did this before. A to Z, A to Z. I don't need to do that. I can just do GC. If GC is in the limit, then limit equals lib dot to GC num limit. So that way I can pass the limit as like 1 million GC, 1 MGC, and this script will be able to compare it numerically still. I think I've actually used that before somewhere else. Oh, I think I used it on my bank script and I used it improperly. Anyway, doesn't matter. So if the cost is less than or equal to my limit, then just buy it. Market buy, where I is x dot I. Confirm true, count 1. What should I return there? Nothing, I guess. So I guess we could have I don't need the... Oh yeah, I still need the key list, because this is going to be... Well, hold on. Getting ahead of myself. I don't need the IDs array anymore, or object. So if I buy the key, I need to then send it. So after I buy it, I don't need 4, just do 0. Well, that'll only... So that'll only work if, I guess the length has to be... So I'll have to do it like this, right? Let keys equal this, and then if keys dot length is greater than 0, then keys at 0 dot cost, and keys at 0 dot I. So I'll have to buy it, and then I'll have to do transfer it. So x lowsec sys dot x for upgrade to caller. No, x for upgrade to 2 is going to be xylib to know what index it is now. Suppose I could do upgrades.count. This is a lot of calls to do this. Market browse, market buy, upgrades, and then X for upgrade 2. So I have to do sys upgrades. Is it? I think it's midsec, right? Midsec sys upgrades. Dot length, I guess. I don't have to do anything other than that. -1. I think that'll work. So I can test this with something super cheap. So it should get the first one. It'll be less than my limit. I have to unload it. Oh yeah, it'll be name here for the test, you're right. I'll have to unload it. Yeah, that's right, because when you buy it, it loads it if you have room, right? So I'll have to buy it. I'll have to do let upgrade equal this. Then I have to do ms.sys.manage, and then I'll have to do unload upgrade, I think, and then I upgrade. Yeah, it loads it. It loads it if you have room. When you buy it off the market, it'll load it if you have room to load it. So I'll buy it, then I'll get the length of the upgrades, -1, which will be the last upgrade. Then I'll unload that upgrade, and then I'll transfer it to my library user. And then that's it. I don't do anything else. Otherwise, if the key's not there, it won't do anything. And if the cost is too high, it won't do anything. That was close to a banned word typos, Mark. Type more carefully, please. Yeah, you are a messy typer. That was Twitch that got mad, not me. Not me. Twitch was like, "Oh, you've got someone in your chat who's being a jerk," and I'm like, "No, I don't. Smork's not a jerk. You're not a jerk, Smork." Okay, so this should probably work then. So we can test this as it is.
One for you, one for me, one for you,
Oh,
one for me.
Jorstar, thanks very much for the gifted sub. That's very kind of you. You're gifting too many subs. I really appreciate it though, thanks. I need to test this, so I can test it with and without too many. Two. Alright. So, I should be able to test this, so I will do key check, limit. It's not really a key check anymore now, it's more like a buy new key. I will put it here. Buy new key, buy new key. I'm gonna add it to my lib functions so that the bot user can just use it really quickly. I'm not sure if my bot users are actually using it as a lib. Yeah, they are. Okay. Add limit to the function call. Yes. A dot limit. I have to add protection here, I guess. If a dot limit. If not a dot limit, then guess I'm just return an error message. I guess return. That's a pretty cool name actually. Return false message. And I think I do parameter. Oh, I'm having one of those. I don't remember what they call it. Semantic overload or something. So, Jorstar, the way you're going to handle your bot brains is to have close to 0 logic in the actual brain, so you can keep the char count low. That's fair. I mean, that's pretty much what I have too. Like, this minifies down to 350 characters, so it's that's the right way to do it, Jorstar. You're absolutely right. That's the right way to do it. Keep it as small as possible. Push all the logic into something else that it calls. That makes more sense. Okay, so parameter limit required. Otherwise, I'll return. I guess it doesn't need to return anything. It's just gonna buy it. What does get key return? Okay, true. So I will return buy new key, and buy new key will return okay, true. There. You're going to make it so it just runs a list of other scripts and just check on runtime. If it has the time to do it all, then good. If not, stop early. Yeah, you could probably, if you used the database very lightly, Jorstar, you could probably make sure that they, like on each successive run, that they at least run some of the actions. Smork, I think you have that for advertising, right? That you like toggle between 2 different actions on your bots. Joestar, no, you don't want to? Okay, so this should work. Up utils here. You don't have any bots set up yet? Oh. It was someone who had bots was doing that. I think maybe it's Flux that was saying that. Joestar, you just go by importance. I guess yeah. Nice to haves. The issue might be that your nice to haves never run, right? If your bots take too long, they may get in the habit where they never ever run the nice to haves. So that would be a way that you could like do two of the 3 mandatory ones and then like one of the nice to haves, and you could do some fluctuation logic if you wanted. Okay, so I've upped my utils. So if I go over to my main user and I do xylib utils and I called it I don't remember what I called it. Buy new key. Buy new key. And without a limit parameter, it should yell at me. Yep. So then I'll do limit, and I'll say whatever, 2000. Bought it, loaded it, unloaded it, sent it. Okay, and now if I do limit, it should let me use 5GC. Didn't do anything. And I want it to succeed because I don't want the bot brain, who's going to be running this, to fail. Joestar, the mandatory ones should run heavy the first bit, but shouldn't take too long after they've settled in. Smark, you could add the last total execution time to bot stats. That's true. Joestar, I don't know if you're keeping bot stats or not. But I don't need to, I don't think, because mine aren't going to take too long. They shouldn't take too long. Actually, I should check how long this takes, because it could take a while there. I'll put it here. Date.now. I'll call buy new key, and I'll return date.now minus Z1 nope, like this, milliseconds. Joestar, yours is going to be pretty basic to start with fresh users. I did the same thing, yeah. I just have 2 users. Well, actually that's not true. My first bank bot was my original bank, standalone bank user, so it was not fresh. But the next node was. I created them just to be a node. Okay, so we'll go back to Xylib here. We'll up. Oh, I want to call that. We'll up the utils. Go back to my other user. Run buy new key with a limited 2000 GC. Two seconds. Wait, why didn't it do anything? Oh, it's because utils was not doing GC. Where did the function go? GC, I think. No. Oh, because it's 2K GC, right? Yeah, so 900 milliseconds. And then if it doesn't find anything, it takes so much longer when it doesn't find anything. I only need to check the price of the first one, right? Am I doing that? That's so weird. Why does it take so much longer? Yeah. The not in call should be faster. You mean like this call will be faster than a char count? Yes, but I don't understand how the call where I purchase something is half the time of the call where I don't purchase something. Add the cost to the market call. That is true. But like the cost is gonna be like astronomical. So that's just like a safety measure so that someone doesn't like totally scam me. But I don't want like I could, but at the end of the day, this is gonna be for keys. Realistically, I'm 99% of these calls I'm not gonna find a key anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm just puzzled by why when I bypass this, it takes twice as long. Keys length is greater than 0. Yup, absolutely. The first one's cost is not less than the limit, so it should just skip it and return true. Why does that take longer? Why does that take so long? But when I do all these extra steps to buy it, unload it, and then transfer it, it's faster. Am I doing something weird here? Something's not right there, because that means that my bots most of the time are going to be taking 2 seconds. I don't want that. I don't want them to be routinely taking 2 seconds. Do I need brackets on my first if the second is too big? I shouldn't. The if should apply to the next statement, which is a block statement. So it should be if this, then this, and then this. Like, I guess I can try, but I don't really think that's the problem. I better remember to call that first. I think this is just, I think that was just a coincidence. I think it's just a coincidence. I think this is just market calls being slow. I'm surprised that just the same market call has so much variance on its runtime. That's really weird. That's a lot of flex, honestly, but okay, at least it's not me doing anything weird. That's just the market. Okay. So if I restore this line, not quite though, right? Okay, tool where the key is not in my list. Did we already do this? Just want to do this just to be sure. Up utils. Jorstar, this is why keychain times out a lot. Yeah, that's not surprising if that's the case. Not at all surprising. That's why you need to specify as many limits on the initial call as possible. Yeah, I mean, with the tool, so with the real call, this is very specific, right? So this call in reality is probably going to be very fast. We can test that as well. Okay, so I want to just make sure here that it's supposed to be returning my list. Oh. Okay, I'm not concerned about the runtime right now. Yep, okay, that looks good. So Let's go back on that. Okay. Put the cost in the market call too. I don't really think I need to. The game commands. The way the game commands is interesting to you. Like how they work, the in-game ones. Like the trust scripts, essentially, is that what you're talking about? I mean, I guess I could put cost is less than or equal to, and then limit, and then I don't have to do this. Then if I have any, just buy the first one. Yeah, so Jorstar, as far as you've heard, they're all by the same rules as user scripts. Yeah, so like, yeah, because they can time out and stuff too, right? So it's interesting to me that, I don't know if they do timeout. They probably have execution checks, but there is an accounts user. Yeah, that's what I find interesting, like the lore. There is an accounts user, there's a sys user, a market user. Yeah, it's really interesting. I wonder if that, like, I mean, guaranteed that's got to factor into lore somehow. It just seems too hackmud for it to not be in the lore. Okay, so cost is less than or equal to the limit that I give. Key list should be good. This should all be good. Returns okay, true no matter what it does. I don't need the time anymore. Just return it. This needs things around it. Okay. What is my real limit going to be? I don't know, 500 million GC, I guess. Didn't find anything. I would like to have, you know, like, sometimes I like just checking, though. So I would like that if, like, I didn't have a limit, that instead of it erroring, it just listed out the keys. So if but then the cost, then I can't put the cost in there. Want to test by putting a key I don't have on the market? Well, I'm not going to turn down a key I don't have. If that's your way of offering it to me, Smork, I will gladly take that key. But you don't have to. You don't have to do that. Jorstar, you found it if you don't have all user folders in your project, HSC will still push a script to all hackmud users. Oh, you mean if you put it at the root? That's interesting. Junk one of my cheap keys. I could actually. That's probably a better check, Smork. I will junk one of my cheap keys. If you put in the source folder, yeah. If you put in the root. All right, so let's look at my keys here. And I should be able to junk a VC2. So if I call 29, Invalid index. Oh, I'm on the wrong user. Yeah, so if I call 29, okay, and I go user Xylox, like he was a million GC. I just got ripped off. Whatever. I just paid $1 million for the most common V1 key. Whatever. My script works. I don't care about a million GC, honestly. I have like, what, like 4 billion or something? Should run smork.keys. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Okay. Script works though. So if I run it again right away, it should do nothing. Okay, so it seems to be working. And then I can check. VC2 is at 38, which is the highest index now. I have one of them. Looks good. Looks good. Okay. So now I should be able to add that to the bot script. This buy new key with a limit call. So if we go over to bot brain. I should just be able to I'll check in, and then I guess I have to have like 2 seconds of execution time left though, right? Because that's how long some of those calls took. Right, like this one took 1700 milliseconds. 15. So that kind of sucks. But I can check at least. I don't remember what the command is. It's down here somewhere. There it is. Lib can continue execution. So if lib can continue execution, I'm gonna have to put 2000. If it takes more than 2000, well, I guess I'll know because my bot will go offline. I do have logs here. Like if we go look, it does show the last output from the last time it ran. So I could add the runtime. The heck is that massive command? Oh! Wow, that was bad timing. What are the odds of that? If I had waited 10 seconds. What is that massive command? What massive command? This? None of these are commands. These are just the logs. These are the logs for my bot check-in. So every time it runs, it logs this out. And then the next time you log into your node, it will give you, oh, the can continue execution. Yeah, that's a big one, eh? That's it's built in. That's a lib command. Can continue execution. Jorstar, are you not using that one anywhere? I use this all over the place. This allows you to like cleanly determine. You're not using it? No, this is what I use like for my continuation token stuff, because if it times out, you just use start time. Oh, new date, my start time. I use lib can continue execution. Is the start... I don't know if this is doing anything fancier under the hood. But if it was just date minus start time, I'm wondering... Libcalls are slow. I haven't found any problem with them. I call this all over the place. I haven't found any issues. Like, what is this doing under the hood then if you're just doing a date minus ST? It's got to be doing more than date minus ST under the hood. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, why would they make a lib function for something that simple if that were the case? Like, I'm wondering if it's doing something different. Oh, it's because start and ST were made later? Oh. So many libcalls that can be done shorter. Is it like, is it faster though? I guess it must be because I don't have to call a library, right? Damn. Damn. So, okay. So if I do date.now minus st, if it's greater than 2000, wait, what? Good morning, Free Frag. Good morning. 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 Where are you? You must be in the Europe. Well, good morning to you, Free Frag. Thank you for coming in. Sweden. Well, thanks for coming in all the way from Sweden. How are you doing? I hope you are having a wonderful Wednesday. Right? Joestar, you would make a function to check it like the libcall and then just use the function everywhere? It's shorter than doing the libcall everywhere. So it's date minus start time is the total runtime. So if the total runtime is greater than 3000, is less than 3000, that means I have 2000 milliseconds left. Right? So if I have more than 2000 left, then I will run utils dot what did I call it? Buy new key with a limit of 500 million GC. Joestar, you would make a function to check it. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go and do that now in my Unicrack script, because that could potentially save me some execution time, because I do check it a few different places. Okay. Yeah, I don't really need to do anything there. Oh, actually there is one thing I want to do. I want to add a memo to this, because I've been in the habit of adding memos for my automatic updates and upgrade transfers and stuff. So memo is going to be net new key located. There we go. Okay, so we'll up that. And then this bot brain, we'll just take this and put it in the other bot brain. Okay. Both bot brains are updated. Up bot brain, run bot brain. And up bot brain, run bot brain. Oh! Smart! Thank you, Smork. You planted that. Well, that's great. That's a great test. Thank you very much for the key donation. What key was that? What key was that? An FR8. Ooh. Interesting. Gotta love that 500 million GC key. Hey, that's very rare though. I'm not at all mad at Smork. I would gladly pay 500 million GC for that key. 100%. These keys are really, really hard to find. Really hard to find. 500 million GC, that's like, whatever. 50 tier 2 users, it's not that big of a deal. I've still got 3.7 billion GC. So... Oh, no, I don't. I don't have that many because this needs to be done. Shoot. This needs to be done before I check in. Otherwise, my balance will be immediately out of date. So, I have to just do this blindly. That should be fine. None of this logic should take any more than like a few milliseconds. So it's got to be here. Has to be there. This is the issue with doing database for the balance. So the other option would be to continuously ping my botnet anytime I ask for the balance. I would have to ping them to ask them what they have. So Jorstar, I think it's pros and cons, right? Because the benefit here is if one of my nodes goes offline, my balance will change. But I will still have a record of how much should be there. I need a public V1 on every bot. No. I don't want to use public bot brains. I think using a public bot brain is a bad idea. It's a security risk. You could just have a public, unless you mean like public, just like a public slot. You're not using a public bot brain. So how do you get, so you have a bot brain and then a public script, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I have that too. Because I do the withdraws, I have a script to do the withdrawals. I guess I could have that script also serve up the balance. Smork, you don't have any more spare keys to test? Oh, well, I mean, I greatly appreciate, Smork, that you donated that key like you did. And I think I'm pretty happy with the testing. I just need to do these in a different order so that my balances get updated right away. I mean, Jorstar, what you're talking about with having the balances getting pulled from a script, I think is not a bad idea either. This is more of like a keep alive thing. I think it's just the way I ended up doing it. Let's get my bot brains back up with my balances. And this should be like 3.2 billion now. Okay, that's better. So you have a single script. In your script you have balance, transfer, upgrades, transfer, upgrade. That's it. It's a lib script. Yeah, he has a lib script. Single action lib scripts. So your bots aren't whitelisted? Or you have a whitelist in there too? That's pretty much what I have here. After the whitelist, yeah. So, So mine has deposit and withdraw. That would certainly save me code from having all these wrappers, right? It's interesting. Example, you have a StorageNet object with Jorstar. Full script jorstar.net. And the upgrades. Use StorageNet at user.upgrades. Okay, I think you're losing me a little bit. You're losing me a little bit on that, Jorstar, but okay. I think that's the better idea, honestly. But I don't have any of my storage stuff. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna put it here for now. I'm going to consider that later. You make the output a list of upgrades per user, and all of it is live. Yeah, and honestly, like, the more I'm thinking about it, Jorstar, I think that is a better way to go. Because like you said, then it's live. Anytime I call balance, it'll go and just ping all of my nodes, right? The question is, why have a brain at all? Why have brains at all then? Why not just make them all static repositories? I guess it's because I want them to check in so that I know if they go down. Yeah, keep track of the status. So I guess right now my check-in is doing more work than it needs to do. Because it's checking in with, well, all of this, right? So these are okay, right? The timestamp, the tier, and the cooldown, and its status. I just don't need the balance there, basically. That's the only thing I need to change, I think. from this, is just move the balance out of the stats and have the balance always be live. But then when I do the... I guess when I do this, though, I could just hit each bot to get its live balance as well. Zybank has got 500 million more than the other one. It needs to equalize. It will equalize in 37 minutes. I just make it equalize now. Perfect. Oh, the cronbot was unloaded also. Interesting. Wait, it was unloaded? How did that happen? Did it unload here too? No, it's loaded. That's weird. It doesn't say that it got unloaded. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right, Jorstar. I think it'd be better to have the balance be live. That way I don't risk asking for GC I don't have. I need the bot brain for sniping keys, that is true. But I could have one of the bot brains running on a much higher interval with a very expensive brain to help with the key sniping. Storage net reduce, balance, total 0. That is to get the GC for all of them. What is, wait, what did you say that your storage net was? Storage net is the array of all of your node libs. Is that what that is? Yeah, I think I have the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, I never thought about doing... Yeah, this is getting pretty advanced JavaScript for me. So this is things I didn't really consider. That... where is the array? Oh, it's on my bank. It's on my bank script. Yeah, so I have the array bot withdraws. So instead, this would be bank bots. And then I would have this just be the library itself. That's interesting. Reduce is neat for this. Yeah, I'm already using reduce for like the totaling, like running totals in a couple spots. Yeah, okay. I like that. I think I'm out of time for the day. I'm getting pretty tired suddenly, so I think I'm going to make a note. I gotta put a to-do somewhere in here. Where am I gonna do my to-do? I might as well just put it here. This is not helpful. To-do is going to be move the balance into the public bot script and convert this logic to get live balances. Can also check. You just finished your coffee? You just finished your coffee, Joestar? Aren't you like in mountain time or something? Oh my god, how could you be drinking coffee so late? Eastern, you're in my time zone. Oh my god. You just finished your midnight coffee. No big deal. Ah. It gives me a headache. I had like an immediate headache. An immediate headache thinking of drinking caffeine this late at night. That's a death wish. That's a death wish coffee, isn't it? Is that you drinking your death wish coffee? No? Was that you that drinks death wish, or was that somebody else? I can't remember. It is you. Okay. Oh man. Alright, so I can move the balance into the public bot script and convert the logic to get live balances. I don't think I have to do anything else there. The banknet's offline and online status. Yeah, move all balance calcs into the bot script. Refactor all balance calls to use the public bot script and convert this logic to get live balances. That's what I should do. You drink that at work where they have a Keurig machine. You probably swap to something else once you're out of Death Wish. Liking the taste of it less and less. It's probably like doing something horrible to your tongue with like 2 grams of caffeine or whatever per cup or craziness. Nah, it's not doing anything to my tongue. It's perfectly safe. The taste is eh. I'm imagining it's just not very good to begin with. You like bitterness, and Death Wish is not bitter? I don't know. It makes me think of Buzzwater. I don't know if you remember that stuff. They had it in the 90s. Caffeinated spring water. It's a meh taste. I would imagine that maybe it's because like their gimmick is the high amount of caffeine and not necessarily that it's like a gourmet coffee. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Never tried it. I don't think I could. I think that amount of caffeine would make me ill. Okay. So, one more check on the bank net. Looks good. Who is that? What are you doing? Cat. It has to be some form of light roast. Yeah, I would for that much caffeine. I'm not a big fan of light roasts either. I prefer medium and dark roasts. All right. I think that's where we're going to leave off for tonight. I am not at all done with anything. There's so much, man, there's so much stuff to do just in tier 2. I'm actually kind of blown away. Because like I thought I'd run out of stuff to do, but there's always something to work on. And like learning about like public scripts, learning about being able to supply a function as a return variable, like the function itself is very interesting to me. That's a JavaScript thing I'm not used to. I guess that's like delegates in C, but still. Okay, anyway, so that's it. I think that's it for tonight. So thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out. And thank you, Joestar, for the gifted sub. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Smork, thanks for your help as well in figuring out this this banknet stuff and the market stuff. Oh, I was already kind of stretching out, but all right. Oh, and Free Frag, that's right. Oh, Free Frag, thanks for stopping by briefly. And I hope that the rest of your Wednesday goes very well. out in Sweden. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so I will see you all hopefully on Thursday for what's likely going to be more hackmud. Okay. All right. Be good, everyone. Take care.